All right, so hi. I know I don't normally do a lot of lives and things. I'm normally pretty technologically weird, and there's always things that happen with technology with me, and it always goes a little bit awry. But I was thinking last night while I was in the shower, as some of my best ideas come to me in the shower, I was like, man, I just want to do more lives. I go about my day and I have things pop into my mind all the time that I'm like, shit, I just want to share that with my tribe or my community, or I'm sure there's some peeps out there who would kind of resonate with this, or, stuff that's kind of like you're pondering on your mind or that's on your heart that you want to share. So I made a commitment to myself that I would get on and do more lives, that I would make space in my day, because normally I have those days where they're just kind of like back to back, like with clients, or I'm creating more course material, or I'm, doing things like that, which I absolutely love. But I also love just being able to interact and share what's coming up for me in the moment. So I'm going to do what I call like heart rants a couple of times a week, and that's going to be on the subjects of either things that you guys want me to talk about or jam on, or things that I'm kind of working on or pondering on or moving through, or what I see is coming up with my coaching clients or in my programs, or anything that's kind of hot in the moment. Yeah. So a big one at the moment for me is, and what I'm seeing a lot with my coaching clients in particular, is this dip of desire of things becoming a little bit stale, things becoming a little bit routine and mundane in relationships. I'm just going to actually undo my button of my jeans because it's freaking cutting into me and it's so tight. And I figure that while we're here talking about relationships and sex, I should be a little bit comfortable, right? Can we just like give a moment for that moment when you undo the button of your jeans and you're like, let your gut hang out? You're like, oh. For me, it's so important to feel like, normally I don't wear a bra, or I have my, just my jammy pants on, because I want to feel in my body. And anything that cuts and restricts, I'm like, it just makes me feel really agitated. So anyway, that's sorted. We've popped the button. I'm feeling much more relaxed now. So anyway, back to this idea that things, this kind of hurdle that a lot of relationships that hi Trudy, hi, that this idea of people freaking out when stuff hits a stalemate in relationships. And a lot of women come to me and they go, oh my God, what's happening? The desire, the kind of like the lust or the passion's gone. And I'm like, whoa. It's okay. This is so normal. And it doesn't matter if you've been together 3 years or 30 years or 3 minutes. That period of spontaneity of sex and that first flash of passion and heat can actually dwindle, and then it's us that takes over with the work. And as much as we don't like to admit it, but relationships take work. And I truly believe that your relationship can be your greatest life's work. Yeah, you can, if you put your priorities on your relationship, your love, to creating epic relationships, then you're going to get them. So one of my things that I truly believe in is that variety is the secret sauce to relationships. And by variety, I don't mean, like bringing strangers home and then all having like a massive, sex party, although you can if that's your jam, and that's totally awesome. But variety meaning that you shake things up. So for example, if you've been someone who only eats eggs for breakfast, there's going to be a chance that eggs become a little bit boring to you. They become a little bit plain. They become mundane, right? So your desire to eat eggs kind of dissipates. You're like, meh, I'm not too much into eggs anymore. I wouldn't mind like some freaking cereal, or I don't know, a pancake. So the same goes with your sexuality and your relationship with your partner, is that if you've only been having sex in one way, if you've only been, going to bed every night and doing a particular routine, or I don't know, exploring in a particular way between the sheets, that over time can feel less desirable. But here's the great news, is that it's so easy to switch things up, to make changes, to go, okay, so we're hitting a bit of a stalemate. I'm not that excited anymore. I'm kind of losing my desire or my mojo, or I'm not kind of like rushing to lock the bedroom door at night. What needs to change? And this is where we can go from feeling powerless to powerful, where we can take back the control and going, what actions do I need to make to create change? So creating change is a big one for me. So a lot of women come to me and they feel stuck in their powerlessness, and they like, oh, you know, what's happening? Maybe it's the relationship. And I'm like, you know, you have the power to create change by taking steps. And sometimes it is just switching up a few things, or recognizing that what you put in is what you're going to get out, or recognizing the fact that relationships are work and that you need to water them and nurture them, and, you know, give them attention if you want them to grow. It's a myth that relationships can just, you know, float along forever without any kind of, you know, maintenance or weeding or pruning or, you know, watering. They need love, they need attention. And this is where we kind of get a little bit lazy, and we just expect it to be all bliss bombs and fireworks, but we don't actually want to take responsibility for making it happen. So to make variety a part of your relationship is really simple. So you can really sit back and make a list of things that you would like to try. You can, so for me, an example, when I feel things are hitting kind of that little stalemate, we've kind of been traveling on the same road for a little while, I'm like, oh, getting a little bit itchy to shake shit up a bit, I'll start thinking about theme nights. So if you catched my Insta story last week, you'll know that I was planning a themed date night for my partner and I, and it was, I still laugh when I say it because the theme night was fast and dirty. And I know what you're all thinking, and actually it had very little to do with sex. We went to this really kind of like vulgar comedy show, and we went to this dirty arcade, and we ate hot dogs, and we drank cheap beer, and I wasn't wearing any underpants, and it was just, you know, there was this, it took us out of our our routine of coming home for dinner and having a nice dinner, and then either watching the Game of Thrones or, you know, having a chat. It took us into something that we very rarely do together. It brought fun, it brought spontaneity, it brought mystery. He didn't know what he was doing. I was excited because I'd planned it, you know, and it brought back that flush and those feelings of a first date, of intrigue, of mystery, of, you know, and of flirting with one another, yeah? So theme nights are really, really great to go to your partner. Okay, I'm going to plan a night, and then you can text them and say, just so you know, the theme of tonight is mystery and, I don't know, mystery and intrigue, right? Or whatever it is. There's a whole, I think the next one that I'm planning again is, and I'm already excited to plan it, is scary thrills. Yeah, again, I know that they sound a little outrageous and you're like, shit, what is this girl planning? But actually I have an idea of going to do this kind of like haunted tour, and anyway, it's great. So maybe call me and I'll plan your theme date. But that's just one example that makes me look forward to our date nights, or lets us tap into a different like flavor. And the thing about sexuality is that you have so many flavors to work with. You don't just have to work with your, you know, your 10 o'clock missionary position shag, although that's awesome and great, and I love those, and sometimes I can't be bothered to even, you know, put my back into it that much, and that's fine. But what's great is that I know that there is so many different elements to sexuality. We can explore the kind of the softer sides of sexuality and the more connective ones. So that might be a theme for a date night. You might like to focus on connection, do massages, light candles, set incense up, all of that delicious stuff. You might want to focus just purely on senses. So pick a sense and let that be the focus of your night. You might be anything that you can taste. So plan a night of erotic eating, of tasting each other, of exploring each other only with your mouths. It might be touch. So you could set a whole night up just with ways of touching each other, blindfolding each other, and exploring each other's bodies and marking on each other's bodies where it feels so delightful and delicious. I get so excited by these kind of things because I'm like, oh, so many good ideas. You know, and there's also things that you can do for yourself. So I recently in the O program sent a bonus out to my awesome bunch of women who are doing it. And we talked about sex and the chakras. Now the chakras are can be a little woo-woo for everyone. But what they do is they allow us to look at different qualities and flavors of our sexuality as well, is one aspect. So you might want to explore the primal rawness of your sexuality, say your root chakra, and that would bring a different flavor into the bedroom altogether. Or maybe you want to look at the heart chakra and bring lots of connection and juiciness and eye gazing, and that's another thing. Or you might want to, whatever it is, bring your sexuality out in your full flavor. That's another way to really look at bringing variety and introducing something different into the bedroom. What are some other good ways to bring variety in? Sitting down with each other and putting all different things you want to try into a jar. It's a sex jar, and then could it get any more louder out there? Having turns of pulling out something, whether it's giving each other a massage, giving, role playing, whatever it is, creating a sex jar together. I know some women like to write it on pop sticks, so they put pop sticks in there. Reading a different book, going to see, doing a course together, or the idea is bringing that kind of attention into your relationship that you do when you're first dating. When you start thinking of these great ideas and there's so many things you want to try, you book that like couples pottery class, or you go to that naked archery class. I don't know, do you? I've never been to a naked archery class. I would like to go to a naked archery class, but I have a feeling that might not be possible. Anyway, but you know what I mean? You do cool stuff with each other. You really put each other above and beyond. You plan things, you create special moments, you spoil, you tease, you tantalize, you go the extra mile. And then after a while, that kind of starts to take a back seat, and then life comes in, right? Life does life, and soon you're arguing about the bills rather than about, who gets to plan the next date. So bringing variety in is a hugely, it can be transforming to a relationship, and it can often take you out of that place of feeling like, oh gosh, what's wrong with us? Maybe we're not gelling, maybe this isn't working, into a place of like, we just forgot how to romance, we just forgot how to flirt, and we just got a bit bored. And it's so common to be bored, to be kind of like, I'm just in a rut, I'm just stuck in a sex rut, or I'm in a bedroom boredom and I'm just meh. You have so much power to get you guys out of that rut and out of that state of feeling powerless, and create the kind of relationship that you desire. So I'm not going to rant on too much. I told you these are going to be heart rants. Like, I just get on a roll and I'm like, bah, 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 bah. So I hope that's kind of useful. If you could have one takeaway from that, it would be to look at your relationship and see how you bring that quality of, how you bring variety into your relationship, how you prioritize keeping things new and different and exciting, or, and they don't have to be, weekends away, or they don't have to be, big grand gestures. They can be subtle, and it can be as simple as a blindfold, or simply as running a bath with your partner and hopping in the bath together, and then, or choosing a different place to make love rather than just in the bedroom, in the bathroom, in the kitchen. It could be cooking a meal together and then, you're feeding each other. Or it could be meeting each other in a bar like you don't know each other, and then, that you reenact your first date. That's one of my favorite things, is that when, pretending I don't know, it sounds kind of weird, pretending I don't know who my partner is, but it gives me that kind of thrill of that, brings back that chase and that kind of, it's a bit exciting, like, oh, who are you? Oh, I'm, Fred the plumber. Oh, hi, Fred the plumber. I'm Sandra the shoemaker, whatever it is, yeah? So you can bring that back, and it's fun, and it brings that play back. And I don't think couples play enough in relationships. We get bogged down in the muck of it, and we don't see that we can actually play and have fun and experiment and explore. So that's it from me. I hope that you have a few kind of takeaways there. Bring variety in, inject your relationship with mystery and fun and play, and it makes all the difference. It really is the secret sauce. It'll ensure that you guys, have a juicy and vibrant sex life together. And I'm just going to have a little look. Thank you, Trudy. Catherine, rant away. All your rants are amazing. I know, I'm such a ranter. How are you doing? Good job. Oh, thank you. So guys, that's it from me. I hope you got some takeaways. As I said, I'll be popping into doing some lives more. I do want to kind of jam with you. I must admit though, I had a lot of anxiety before doing Facebook Lives, purely because I'm a ranter and because I get super passionate with what I am trying to convey and say to you, that sometimes it can be a little bit like, what is she talking about? So that's why I included it in the name, to be like a heart rant. So you can't blame me if it comes out ranty. I'm telling you, they're rants. It's what happens when you're uber freaking passionate about stuff. So that's it from me. I'm going to be jumping on. If you have any kind of topics or suggestions, you're like, hey, can you just talk about mismatched libidos? Can you talk about what happens, after whatever it is? Let me know in the comments or send me a private message, pop it on my page, whatever it is that you feels best for you to reach out for me, and I will do a live on it, or I will do a blog post, or I will get you the information. I'll send you some smoke signals or whatever. Thanks guys for tuning in, and I will see you on our next live.